1. And it is not live. Okay, start. We are live now.
Hello everyone, this is Durga Murari. Welcome all of you to the International Faculty Development Program on Libraries' Response to COVID-19, Enhanced Online Library Services. This is being conducted by the SNDT Women's University in association with the Vatumal Sadhubaila College and the Mumbai University and College Teachers Association. A very special welcome to our Vice-chancellor, Professor Shashikala Vanzari Madam, and to our speaker for this session, Dr. Kalpana Shankar, Professor at the University College, Dublin,
you close
Ireland.
your YouTube first.
Before we go on to the rest of this program, we request all of you to please rise for India's national anthem, followed by the SNDT Women's University song. Dr. Kalpana Shankar, Professor at the University College, Dublin, Ireland.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जनगण
Thank you. Now I request the Director of the SNDT Women's University's Knowledge Resource Center and also the Director of this program, Dr. Subhash Chavan, to give a brief introduction about the week-long program.
Thank you, Dr. Murga Madam. Good afternoon, everyone. Honorable Vice-chancellor, Professor Shashikala Vanjari Madam. Today's speaker, Dr. Kalpana Shankar from Ireland, Subhash Athole, General Secretary Mukta, and all team, Pracharya Mali sir, Dr. Suvarna Rawat Madam, and everyone present here. We all are gathered here from International Faculty Development and Leverage Response to COVID-19 Enhanced online library services organized by Bharat Ratna Maharshi Knowledge Research Center, SHPT School of Library Science, SNDT Women's University Mumbai, in association with Sadhubela Education Societies, Watumal Sadhubela Girls College, and College Teacher Association Mukta. I am glad to tell you all that the participants for our program are not only from India, but different countries on the world. I welcome you all from bottom of my heart. Friends, I had always wished to have an international conference from many days, but the accommodation is a big problem in Mumbai. At this point of the time, we have got this opportunity because of lockdown to COVID-19. For this course, we have got the experts from different four continents: Asia, Australia, Europe, and America, and 6 countries, 7 speakers. Dr. Kalpana Shankar from Dublin, Ireland, Mr. Prashant Pandey from South Australia, Dr. Gajiano Karklia from Connecticut, USA, Mrs. Hina Mehta, Tinek, USA, Dr. Muhammad Mez ul Islam from Dhaka, Bangladesh, Dr. Zakir Hussain from Zurich, Switzerland, and Dr. Nasim Iqbal from Canberra, Australia. These are the speakers of our 7 days international PDF FDP, and their topic are also very useful for us. After deciding the theme and having a talk with experts, we had sent a link on 8th May 2020, and 10th May was the last date for registration. In this period of 3 days, we have got overwhelming response. We have got 2,722 registration from different countries of the world, like USA, Qatar, Indonesia, South Asia, Bahrain, Pakistan, Guyana, Zambia, Sri Lanka, Nigeria, and Nepal. And from India, state like Maharashtra, Delhi, West Bengal, Karnataka, Telangana, Kerala, Odisha, Gujarat, Haryana, Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Jharkhand, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, and Goa. The participant in this international faculty development program, the library professional, will surely get benefit from this course. Always, when have such kind of program, our Vice Chancellor Madam always support in all these ways. SNDT Women's University is the first women's university in India as well as Southeast Asia. 104 years old university was founded by Bharat Ratna Maharshi Dr. Dhondo Keshav Karve in 1916 for Nobel cause Women's University, Women's Education. SNDT Women's University is committed to cause women's empowerment through access to education, particularly higher education through the relevant course in the formal and non-formal stream. SNDT Women's University has been awarded with NAC A grade. SNDT has 4 campuses in Churchgate, Juhu, Pune, Srivardhan, respectively. The motto of the university is, "An enlightened woman is source of infinite strength." Bharat Ratna Maharshi Karve Knowledge Research Center of the university seek facilitated to seamless access to quality knowledge and information resources in print as well as digital form throughout the 3 campuses library located at Churchgate, Juhu, and Pune. The library is committed to support teaching, learning, research, and creation of knowledge system in physical as well as virtual environment. Since more than 60 years of its excitation, SHPT School of Library Science is empowering women study by offering MLIC and PhD courses in LIS field. ICT-based curriculum with foundation of LIS field make a student ready to work in any type of library. The school has also started offering courses in virtual environment using model, holding lectures on e-communication platform current situation. J. Vatumal Sadhubela Girls College is a Sindhi minority college which started in 1994 and is affiliated to University of Mumbai. The college offers undergraduate and postgraduate courses in commerce and management. The students have achieved academic excellence in a short span of time and have proved themselves academic field, sports and culture activities. Thank you, and once again, I welcome you all. Thank you, sir.
Durga ma'am, unmute to yourself. Your voice is muted. Yeah. No. One
Mumbai
second.
University and College Teachers Association. They would like to tell about the society and the association itself.
Shall I start?
Yes, ma'am.
Uh, good day and welcome to all the dignitaries, Honorable Vice-chancellor of SNDT University, Professor Shashikala Vanzari Madam, and all the organizers of this FDP program. I'm here to introduce executive people's persons of the Mukta. Mukta is the Mumbai University College Teachers Association. For this program, we have with us Professor Dr. Vaibhav Naravade. He is a very active president. Presently, he is president of Mukta and also professor in D.Y. Patil Engineering College. With us, Mr. Subhash Athavale, who is the General Secretary of Mukta and librarian in CHM College, Ulhasnagar. We have with us Dr. Meenakshi. She is a CA also and professor in ICL College and coordinator of Mukta's publication. We have with us Professor Vittal Sontakke, who is a treasurer of Mukta and vice principal professor in economics in Kirti College, Mumbai. We have with us Professor Sandeep Bhavsar. He is associate of Mukta and professor in Wellinger Institute. Myself, Dr. Suvarna Rawal, one of founder member of Mukta and vice principal of BNN College, Bhiwandi, and honorable chancellor's nominee on SNDT Management Council. Thank you. I request to Meenakshi ma'am brief about the Mukta.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Very good afternoon to all. Once again, I welcome you all on behalf of Mukta. Mukta is registered association and is affiliated to ABRSM. The main objective of Mukta association is राष्ट्र के हित में शिक्षा, शिक्षा के हित में शिक्षक, शिक्षक के हित में समाज. As per the objective of association, since its inception, the association has started taking keen interest in teachers' well-being. A massive awareness drive was conducted throughout Mumbai University affiliated colleges under the leadership of Dr. Shekhar Chandatre as a president and Dr. Namdev Mandige as general secretary. Now, under the leadership of Dr. Vaibhav Naravade as a president and Professor Subhas Athavale as a general secretary, many initiative has been taken for teachers training. Mukta has established teachers education cell as well as teachers grievance cells and has launched the new website. The informations of the website will be very useful and informative and guiding to the teachers. During the pandemic, a lot of activities are taken up by the association. Immediately after the lockdown, the team decided to hold webinars for teachers. Since 4th April, 12 webinars are conducted on innovative topics and we received great response from more than 2,000 teachers representing 107 universities of India and abroad. The team Mukta then has decided to help colleges by providing technical support, and as an outcome, 6 colleges and the universities are organizing webinars in association with Mukta. We all are gathered here for such a joint venture with SNDT University, its affiliated college, and Mukta. Thank you. Now request to take the charge of the session.
And thank you, Dr. Chavan. Today, the Vice-Chancellor of the SNTT Women's University, Professor Shashikala Vanzari Madam, is here with us. Professor Vanzari has master's degrees in chemistry, in English, a doctorate in education. She has vast experience in teaching, research, administration, and has been steering the SNDT Women's University to reach new heights. Madam has been very supportive of all our endeavors, and it is her encouragement that makes us all strive to reach better heights. I request ma'am to kindly say a few words.
Hello everyone. You are getting my voice? Durga? Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Respected Director Dr. Chavan, from Mukta, Dr. Athole, Dr. Vaibhav Arbade, Dr. Bani, my colleague Dr. Durga Murari, our Honorable Management Council member Dr. Suvarna Rawal, esteemed speakers like Dr. Kalpana Shankar, all the participants across the globe and in India. On behalf of my university, I would extend warm welcome to each one of you. Friends, you know that today's program, International Faculty Development Program, is organized by joint collaboration of Bharat Ratna Maharishi Karve, KRC, and SHPT School of Library SNDT Women's University, the J. Sadhu College and Teachers Association. I welcome you all. Today's topic for this International Faculty Development Program is Libraries Response to COVID-19, Enhanced Library Service. I am pleased to inaugurate this Faculty Development Program on this prevailing situation. Friends, you know that we are passing through a very difficult, dangerous phase, and that is COVID-19. You all are good in health. The current global pandemic, coronavirus disease 19 outbreak has posed, including India. Every one of us is worried about to make our educational activities and in live state professional commitment for all of us, because we know that we are each other intellectually as well as physically. But these online workshops or online faculty development program to reduce the gap things in respective domain. We know that, and of course I'm sure that this program definitely will throw a light in relation to library science and will accelerate the growth. Friends, I recollect my knowledge about the library science, and I reminded myself about the S.R. Ranganathan, who proposed the 5 laws regarding this library science in 1932. And in these 5 laws, of course, you know, because you are from library science and you are thoroughly well acquainted with the laws. But amongst these 5 laws, there is the last law, and which is the library must be a growing organism. Now, today, we are passing through a difficult situation. And I remember growing our faculty development, we have to grow our knowledge. We all know that when we consider the day-to-day life, we have to gain something. Then and then we could say that the growth is possible. I think this today's topic is very relevant, and they have considered through all discussions, libraries' response to COVID-19, Poland enhanced online services. We know that our students are far away from classroom, and to acquaint them with a different concept and knowledge, we should enable them to reach library. And because of this situation, all the experts and all the participants across the globe and India, they have well understood the cause. They have well, or you can say very thoughtfully, they have designed this faculty development program. And through this title, it is very relevant to the situation. And 22 participants have registered for this faculty development program. And due to this, I would compliment my colleague and director, Dr. Subhash Sharma, Dr. Athole, and Dr. Vaibhav Narwade, and Dr. Mari as well. Because of their efforts, they were striving hard to organize such a wonderful conference. I would express my sincere words to members, Dr. Durga Murari, Dr. Parul, and other ones. They are also equally important for me because they have contributed a lot for being organizing such a good and nice and wonderful faculty. Overseas participants, I would like to say that from the far away, you have joined this faculty development program, and you are happy to know that what is this SNDT University? What is the ideology and philosophy of this university? And you would be very pleased to know each and everything from my director, Dr. Subhash Sharma. I hope you will understand the things very nicely because Dr. Subhash Athole, Dr. Mari are there. So they will update you about all these things. And one more thing, yes, tender thing. So really, I am very much thankful to all the speakers and the efforts by all these organizing team members. I hope you will love and enjoy this faculty development program for a duration. Thank you very much. Invited me to inaugurate this faculty development program.
Thank you so much, madam, for your very kind words and encouraging words. And it's because of you, perhaps, and your guidance that we have been able to do this program today. Now to introduce our speaker for today, Dr. Kalpana Shankar. Dr. Kalpana Shankar is professor at the School of Information and Communication Studies at the University College Dublin. She received her PhD in Library and Information Science from the University of California at Los Angeles and then conducted postdoctoral research in the Center for Embedded Network Sensing at UCLA. She also completed a AAAS Science Policy Fellowship at the National Institute of Health Office of Evaluation. She was an assistant professor at Indiana University's Blooming School of Informatics and Computing before joining the University College at Dublin. Her research and teaching focus on research, including knowledge, information infrastructures, the sustainability of digital repositories, and research evaluation and peer review. Today, Professor Kalpana Shankar will be speaking about future-proofing information societies during and after the global pandemic. Over to you, Kalpana.
Thank you, Durga. I wanted to thank you all very much for the invitation. For some reason, my cursor has frozen, so I am not able to actually click the button to share my screen. And I don't want to waste any time. I don't know if it's something with this platform, but it suddenly happened. So I'm gonna end up speaking without any slides, and I hope that's okay with all of you. So again, thank you very much for the opportunity today to talk about future-proofing information societies before and during this global pandemic that we're all currently facing during these very interesting times. As Durga said, I'm actually a professor in the School of Information and Communication Studies. I'm not a working librarian, but of course I teach librarians and other information professionals and conduct a lot of research on information societies and various iterations. So I guess the first thing I would ask is this: how do we actually future-proof information societies? And the short answer, as I was joking to Durga on WhatsApp yesterday, is that we can't. Because we're in an information society and we haven't been able to prepare for every contingency, including the current one. And the first question I think I would ask, and that's kind of provocative, is like, can we future-proof our information societies? And saying no is, well, what is an information society and what does future-proofing mean? I think those are both very large questions that have evolved over time, that are contingent locally on your conditions, on your society, on your cultures, and so forth. And what we can do, though, is extract out some of the many, many challenges that we all face in dealing with things like this pandemic and other disasters that we are likely, unfortunately, to face. So what are some of the challenges that we are all facing in this time collectively? There's a number of those. There's a disaster informatics scholar named Professor Leja Palin at University of Colorado, Boulder. And she argues that we are living in a particularly strange time because we have information scarcity in a time of information overload, and what is often being called the infodemic. And what do I mean by that? How do we have information scarcity and yet information overload? As we all know, the news about COVID-19 changes literally every day. We can all wake up on any particular day and find that a new drug has been tested, some other drug has been discontinued or discredited. People are wearing masks, not wearing masks. Governments are acting in different ways, making changes. Every day there is new information coming at us. And yet the thing that we need the most, that we crave the most, is certainty. And this is missing to us. So even as we have this information overload, the very fact that it's changing on a daily, if not hourly basis, and that we're getting it from all over the world, makes it difficult for all of us as individuals, societies, and institutions to pull out what it is we actually need and want. We're also living in other times where we are seeing an increasing attack on expertise and intellectualism. Those of us coming from the information professions and teaching value expertise and intellectualism greatly, but unfortunately this isn't shared by everybody. And we see both concerted, deliberate attacks on the expertise of our medical professionals, on the expertise of doctors and scientists and our teachers, even as we need them so very much. That leads into my next concern, which is disinformation and misinformation. That is misinformation rife on social media, where we're talking about people spreading rumors, attacking others for misguided attempts and so forth. But disinformation goes along with that attack on expertise. Well, we don't really know what is going on, so we should open up our society, or doctors haven't told us everything, so they don't know everything. So again, just like the attacks on expertise, we're seeing both deliberate and widespread, almost accidental disinformation and misinformation. Those that we rely on, our journalists and the media, to provide us with a clear path are playing complicated roles themselves. They are in the business of having to help us vet this information, but also present this information to us about these hourly changes that we're facing. So it's again difficult to figure out what their role is in a society like this. The obvious, of course, is amplification by social media. We have seen, again, rumors, disinformation, misinformation, so-called grassroots protests that really turned out to be bankrolled by elites and wealthy organizations, all playing out across WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, etc. And vetting them can be enormously difficult because, as is often said, you know, these falsehoods run around the world twice before the truth has even gotten its shoes on. And also, we're seeing a lot of false choices being presented to us, that elites, governments, and others are positioning what we're facing as economy versus health, or civil liberties versus health. Sure, we can have a contact tracing app, but only if you are willing to give up all of your privacy and security. Well, people could stay home and be healthy, or, you know, in their own homes, but the economy will collapse. So again, some of these are presented to us just choices, but I would argue they're false choices. And of course, this leads to lack of proactive policy responses by governments and our technology platforms. Our technology platforms, where so much communication happens, they know that these kinds of misinformation campaigns are good for business. So they're very reluctant to take down false information or things that are dangerous even, because they know those attract viewers and attract business. So we don't have good responses to how to handle this, except, again, to rely on those false choices of information should be out there for everybody, or our healthcare will suffer, or our economy will suffer, and our civil liberties, well, they just are something we're going to have to give up. This is different, I would argue, because we have faced other kinds of disasters, weather disasters. Climate change has been one long, slow unfolding, and not so slow disaster in and of itself. But we here with COVID-19, we don't know, we know when it started, but we don't know when it's going to stop. And I think collectively, disaster information colleagues like Dr. Palin and others are arguing that we are all collectively and individually in an environment where we're stuck having to do a lot of risk management for ourselves. And risk communication, therefore, becomes paramount. So collectively, what we're seeing, we've already seen this. We've seen disinformation, we've seen amplification, we've seen attacks on expertise, but they're all coalescing in a way that is, I would say, unprecedented because of the challenges that COVID-19 plays for us as a disaster. So what are some of the approaches that we can take collectively? We need to show our history. So many people that I meet are so ignorant of even recent history, much less, older stories, to show how, first of all, there's a couple things. Societies have gotten through disasters. The 1918 flu, Spanish flu, as it's often called, is one of them. Most recently, so 100 years ago. But it's not just about how did societies handle pandemics, how did cultures handle pandemics, and what should we do and what should we avoid. We also need to use that history to show how debate is part of science and knowledge. I have an undergraduate degree in molecular biology, and I was struck by how little discussion there actually is on the history of science, not just a history of great men and great laboratories, but how debates and decisions are shaped by societies and cultures just as much as the ideas themselves. We as information professionals need to be aware of history and get others. We also need to understand how misinformation works. getting people to believe in it is not, to believe in good information or to find good sources is not a simple matter of information literacy, unfortunately. All of our studies have shown that the more good information we put out there and steer people to, the more they double down on their biases. So we need to ask our colleagues and our students and our citizens and our peers, how do you get to this conclusion? Tell me about the information that led you to believe this. It requires a lot of listening. And I think right now we're all struggling to do more of that. We also need to seek and support a critical media to encourage people to get a varied news diet. And this is something as information professionals that we can do, is to look not just at our own regions and our own countries, but news sources from around the world. What makes a good story? How do you know something is good evidence? If a video or a news article says this is a cure for coronavirus, they aren't telling you about. I think we should be critical. Why? And I think surfacing those tools and supporting the media that is trying to debunk these kinds of conspiracies is something that we can do. And the last thing I think we need to do to at least move towards that future proofing is to support technological and technological and legal responses to disinformation. We need to push these platforms to be better citizens. We need to empower our citizens groups to look at tracing apps and other abrogations of our civil liberties. Not in the guise of we want to tell you how to do it better, maybe we do, but we also want to know that we are all protecting our rights, that our responses are proportionate and necessary. To give an example, the government here, the health services unrolling a contact tracing app that will probably only, because it's Bluetooth, is only going to work about 3 meters away. That's already going to be a problem, but they want to do a lot of things that are not transparent to the public and are not transparent even to civil society organizations. So there's going to be a lot of reckoning. And civil society organizations are responding to this proposed app by saying, look, we all want the same thing, to deal with this virus and figure out how to make it, less dangerous to our society. But we want to do it together in a transparent, open way. And so I think all of these things, our knowledge of history, helping each other understand history, understanding the role of information, misinformation, and disinformation, and what actually constitutes evidence, supporting and seeking out critical media and critical voices, encouraging a varied news and information diet, and perhaps above all, supporting a technological and legal response to disinformation that is truly rights-based is something that we all need to do as information professionals and scholars. And I will leave it there for questions. Thank you for your time and thank you for listening. And again, unfortunately, okay, so.
Hello, Durga ma'am. Are you there?
I'm here. Or who do you need? Me?
No. Just one announcement for the all participants. In your mail ID, we have posted one WhatsApp number. If you have any question, so please post on that number. So accordingly, we will be asked to our resource person.
Yeah, I still have no mouse, so.
Yeah, just one moment, Kalpana. I think Jayashree's lost her. She's just sending me the questions and we'll be able to give you the questions. Okay. Have you got your mouse to work so we could see some of your slides?
There were just those 3 slides. I just didn't really have any slides.
That's
I
okay.
don't know what happened. I think it must be something with the platform. So
Hello, madam.
Yes,
Hi.
go ahead.
Madam, still now I have not received any questions yet. Still there are no questions from the participants.
Okay. And I have a question, Kalpana, about when we are talking about misinformation, disinformation, what would we do as libraries to sort of prevent this? How do we look at getting people to know about the authenticity of the information that is coming out?
I think we start early. I mean, we start with our young people and we start with our students about steering them towards information that is, you know, good and relevant. We also, as scholar, you know, so as information professionals, also can have public voices. I think writing and speaking in venues, not just like this where we're speaking to each other, but writing op-eds in newspapers, talking about, you know, using fora like Twitter and Medium and the Conversation and others to talk about how information literacy, or however you want to call it, is ever, you know, more important than ever. So I think it's not we need to get out of our own institutions and actually be the public intellectuals that we really need to be. And I think that is one way we can actually make our voices and our viewpoints heard, not that we just sit inside a building and give you books. People still have that notion all over the place, but instead to say, we advocate for a particular perspective, and that is one of the critical evaluation of information.
Okay, there is a question here from one of the participants. They wanted to know about the contact apps that are there, the tracing apps.
The problem with the contact apps, at least we're seeing in Ireland and probably, I don't know, other Western countries, and I haven't been paying attention to the ones in India, but I've heard that they may be equally problematic, if not more so, is that they are Bluetooth based. So they, at least the ones here. So that's, in a way, it's good because that decentralizes the information. It's not putting it in one place like the sat nav or GPS would. It cuts down on the efficiency because you have a 3-meter radius. And in a crowded city, like I assume Mumbai is, or if you go into Dublin city center, which is a lot less crowded, 3 meters is not very useful. What's happening is these apps are often being developed in secret. The source code is not being shared, so it cannot be vetted. In Ireland, because we're part of Europe, we have the General Data Protection Regulation. So we are supposed to be told what's going to happen to this information that is being collected, but they aren't being very transparent about that. And also, it's a question of testing as well, is that we don't have yet enough testing and people have to reveal their test status. I mean, you'd have to put this on your phone and say, okay, I've been tested and I've been tested positive. So now everybody within a 3-meter radius, you know, can be identified. There are also scope creep. The one here, and privacy advocates have said this should never be done, is integrating symptom tracking and contact tracking. And that should not be done. Because then that's how you start aggregating information in dangerous ways. So I think I'll leave it there. So those are some of the challenges with the contact tracing apps. And again, we have to ask, is it a proportionate response?
Ma'am, there's one question from Boni Ghosh. He wants to know, should we organize training session on information proofing for college students?
Yes. I mean, we do webinars at our library here at University College Dublin and many around the world. I'm sure many of your listeners are already involved in those, but yes, we need to start early because, I mean, we actually, interestingly enough, I would say 3/4 of my students are Indian. We get many, many students in Ireland from India because they can do a 1-year master's degree and stay for 2 years and then go back and work. So large number of students. And we're introducing them to a lot of these concepts only at the postgraduate level. So I think you can start earlier. I mean, that's not true everywhere. Some of the students have more familiarity, but some of the students don't. So I think this is an excellent idea. And maybe these even can be rolled out in a way to the public through you all, I think use WhatsApp so effectively. Instead of spreading misinformation via WhatsApp, librarians can fight back by spreading, good stuff, webinars.
Thank you, ma'am. There's one more question from Sammati Jain. She's asking, is there any information filtering mechanism to filter out fake news from the web?
No, but this is like the silver bullet. Everybody is working on this. The people are trying to use, it's really difficult because, and this is kind of silly, but what happened was when I think Facebook or Twitter tried to deploy something like that, they ended up filtering out a lot of politicians. Because politicians are spreading information that, Twitter was deeming fake news, believe it or not. So this is a silver bullet, but the problem is, how do you differentiate satire and parody and things that are almost true from, just slightly not true? So it is a really difficult thing. This is something we humans aren't even very good at. And how do we program our machines to do that? So as yet, no. We have to rely on our own good common sense.
There's another question. What role librarian can play in shaping the information society with respect to future proofing?
I mean, I think this is just it, is that we have a responsibility for teaching and training. And institutionally, we want to think about how do we get to our students and our colleagues and our clients. We also, as I started off by saying, we can take an public role. Those of you who like writing, look for ways to spread, to write on things like the Conversation and Medium, blogs about what is the role of the library and information professionals in future-proofing our societies. So I think it's both working within our institutions to raise awareness of these issues, but also having that public face as well. And I think, and also, and again, I don't know the context everywhere in the world, it's not possible, but getting involved in your professional societies and pushing them to get involved at higher levels in policy making.
There's one more question. Can we develop a global database of fake news?
No.
Misinformation.
No, and there's no way, because you're talking about language, you're talking about context. You're talking about so many different platforms by which this is used. I mean, just to give you an example of the platform issue, when Durga and I were communicating, she's like, I'm sending you this on WhatsApp. I'm like, can you send them my email? And she's like, disseminate this to your colleagues. It's like, I don't talk to my colleagues on WhatsApp. I mean, we use WhatsApp here very differently than you all use WhatsApp. And yet there's so many platforms. There's Twitter, there's Facebook. So there's technological issues. There's also local and contextual issues. There's linguistic issues. What counts, how local do you want to go? How granular do we want to go? So I see no way to do this at a global level. And again, by the time somebody puts a piece in a database, somebody else is going to say, oh no, that's not fake. This is, this would be just a free for all. So I can't see it. It's happening.
There are many questions which are pondering in. So with your request, we can mail these questions to you, ma'am.
That'd be delightful. Yeah, that'd be fine. I will try to answer. Yeah.
Just one quick question, Kalpana, somebody has asked us, what about the legal aspects of misinformation? Is there anything we can do about it?
Not really, because again, most governments have been unwilling to tackle some of this. I think that, I don't know which state it was in India, but I seem to have a lot of students there that locked down the internet, or at least throttled it, to try and keep misinformation from getting out there, and it's still getting out there. Because a lot of my students have been complaining they've been having internet access problems from India. So no, the problem is the governments have been unwilling to tackle legal mechanisms for the spread of misinformation, for making these companies liable, because they fear business. They don't want, these companies are too big to fail. So, which is why we have to push for technological regulation. And that's something that's at a higher level than institutionally we would be at.
And there's one interesting question. How can we academicians be part of the solution when there is de-intellectualization in the establishment?
I think, again, it is getting to our students, getting to, you talked about future proofing. Our students are our future, right? Our young people are our future. So I would say that we start with them. And I love it. I teach a data and society class. I taught it for master's students in the autumn for the first time. And I had a lot of my Indian students. I had one young woman from Kerala who's like, we've never talked about these issues. I didn't realize how so many issues play out. I've been a programmer and I didn't know about all of these problems and challenges with data and society. And, as an academician, as a professor, that is like the best thing to hear, right? When you open your students' minds to something. So we start there, we start with our students. We put ourselves in the role of public intellectuals. We engage in webinars like this, we participate widely on social media, sadly, by writing articles for the public, for writing op-eds, as much as possible, making our voices heard outside of the university. I guess, it's an uphill battle. I'm not saying it's easy, but maybe many successful people have been able to make that transition from academic writing and scholarship to being public intellectuals and publicly engaged.
Thank you, ma'am. At the end of this very informative session, I would like to thank our guest, Dr. Kalpana Shankar, for honoring our request. She gave an excellent and insightful coverage on the role of disinformation and misinformation, and how we have to make users more aware about authenticity of the information coming out. On behalf of the organizing team, I take the opportunity to express our gratitude and thanks to the Honorable Vice-Chancellor Dr. Shashikala Vanzari for gracing the function and delivering inspiring inaugural address. I would also like to extend my thanks to Pro Vice-Chancellor Dr. Magade and Registrar Dr. Deepak Deshpande for their kind support. I also thank Sri Uttam Singh Pawar, Chairman, and Dr. Vasant Mali, Principal of J. Vatumol Sadhubela Girls College, for their kind support. Our sincere thanks to Dr. Subhash Athavale, General Secretary of Mukta, for providing technical support to us. And last but not the least, it's our sincere thanks to all the participants. A sincere thanks to all the participants for joining and actively participating. And I'm sure that all must have benefited from this session. So thank you all.
And thank you for giving me the opportunity. Sorry about the technology problem. But again, thank you all for your time. Take care.
Thank you. And we will email you the rest of the questions.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
All right, thanks a lot. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, can you please stop live streaming?
Yeah, no, sir. Now stop live streaming. But meeting should be please take and running.
Pardon?
Only stop the live streaming. Band kara.
That is what I am trying.
Just 1 minute. Ma'am, due to
one
tomorrow's session. Yeah.
Yeah, so just one announcement that in YouTube live stream chat box, we are posting feedback form. This feedback form, everyone please fill up for your attendance. Thank you. Kalbande, you can continue.
Tomorrow's session.
Yes. Hello. Tomorrow's session by Dr. Prashant Pandey from Flinders University, Australia, is on transforming academic libraries at 12:30 p.m. tomorrow.
Okay, so shall I stop the live streaming?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. Yes.